Jeff was born in 1964, a time where the Beatles took America by storm. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed into law, and the possibility of space travel was real. In an interview with Charlie Rose, Jeff Bezos shared, "I fell in love with the idea of space and space exploration and space travel when I was 5 years old. I watched Neil Armstrong step onto the moon." His vision of what was possible began to be opened to him early on in his life, and it changed him forever. "You don't choose your passions," said Jeff. "Your passions choose you. I'm infected with this idea. I couldn't ever stop thinking about space. I've been thinking about it ever since then." It was estimated that about 650 million people watched the moon landing. But why didn't everyone who watched Neil Armstrong step onto the moon get infected with the idea of space, space exploration, and space travel? Infectious ideas spread similarly to how health-related infections occur. According to the Center of Disease Control, there needs to be a source, a susceptible person, and transmission for an infection to occur. Similarly, for infectious ideas to spread, there needs to be a source, a susceptible person, and transmission. Here's a breakdown of what I call the infectious idea model. The challenge of landing on the moon was a huge source of invention and innovation, especially when that milestone was reached. And Jeff Bezos was susceptible to what's possible. The televised event of the moon landing served as the transmission of a huge lifelong challenge for Jeff Bezos. Jeff continued pursuing the idea of space in his early years, attending high school student science training in the University of Florida, and even sharing his dream of colonizing space in his high school graduation speech. But once you know what's possible for you, how do you make it possible? At Princeton, he pursued becoming a theoretical physicist, but quickly found that he wasn't built like a physicist. In a Wired magazine interview, he said, "I looked around the room, and it was clear to me that there were 3 people in the class who were much, much better than I was, and it was much, much easier for them. It was really sort of a startling insight that there were these people whose brains were wired differently." After exploring physics and deciding that wasn't the right path for him, he switched his focus to computer science and electrical engineering so he could start and run his own business one day. After graduation, he started his career at a financial startup and then moved to a larger financial institution for more security. But after a short 2 years, he saw a bigger opportunity. He recognized how computers and so-called second-wave automation could revolutionize business. This was his second infectious idea. But how would he make it possible? At his next job, at D.E. Shaw & Company, his boss and mentor, David Shaw, put him on a project to explore new business opportunities on the internet. After researching all he could on electronic commerce, he concluded that the most logical thing to sell over the internet was books. At this stage, his boss served as the transmission catalyst, challenging Jeff to investigate the internet, which led to Jeff discovering the historic opportunity that would change the world forever and empowered Jeff to finally execute on his first infectious idea. Jeff left his employer and drafted a plan for creating the everything store that would eventually become Amazon, the world's largest online store. And Amazon would empower Jeff with the funds and resources to create Blue Origin, his space exploration company that is fulfilling his dream of exploring space. Like Jeff, we all have the ability to become creators of the ideas that infect us. It may not be right away, nor how we expect it to happen, but with the proper planning, curiosity, flexibility, and relentless pursuit, you may just surprise yourself.